Hello everyone, this is Siddharth Mehta, mentor at Career Launcher Bhilai. I have with me Sarthak Gupta. Sarthak Gupta is the All India topper in the VARC section of CAT 21. Yes, I have with me 100 percentiler of CAT 21 in VARC section, and his overall percentile stands at 99.93. Amazing feat, Sarthak. Let me tell you a few more things about Sarthak. Sarthak has done his engineering from BITS Pilani. Right now, he is working with his father. He has joined his father in his business, and this was his second attempt second attempt to CAT, and in the first attempt, he secured around 92 percentile. And this year, the trajectory has increased like or improved like anything, and 99.93 with 100 percentile in VARC. So welcome, Sarthak. Amazing feat, and I'm sure that you must be extremely satisfied and your parents must be extremely proud of your achievement.
Thank you for those very kind words, sir, and hello to everyone.
Right. So what's the I mean, how long did it take to think that you have got 100 percentile in VARC or any section? It's a big thing.
So let me take you back to the day when the CAT response sheets came out. So, before that, we had the option of filling up our attempts on CL's website. That I have attempted around these many questions. I estimate that these many will be correct, these many will be wrong. So at that point of time, CL had given me a predicted score of 103. Why this? This was because I had estimated that I had gotten around 16 questions right in VARC and 8 wrong. Let me tell you the thinking behind it, because in all of my previous mocks, this had been a very constant figure that I would get around 3-4 questions wrong in RC, around 3-4 wrong in BA. So in the end, it came out as 16 right, 8 wrong, and a score of around 40 to 45, almost constantly. Like I got a 99 percentile in a lot of my mocks in VARC, but never even a 99.5 in my mock. So that should tell you how good CAT was for me.
Okay.
So let's come to the point that I could not believe it. Yeah, sorry about skipping over that. So now let's jump to the day on which the response sheets came out. So I got the response sheet. At that point of time, nobody had uploaded the score calculators at that point of time. So I was manually checking my score. So RC, like, okay, the first passage has 4 answers correct, very nice. The next passage has 3, and now I'm estimating that I would have gotten around 2 questions correct in the next passage. But no, 14 questions correct out of 16, and then comes VA, which I will be very honest with you, has been the bane of my existence when it comes to VARC. On that day, as I'm taking through my answers, all right, correct, all 8 of them correct. Couldn't believe it.
So you must have rechecked it again.
Yes, at least thrice.
All right. Yeah, but see, that is the end result part, and of course, as you are saying, you might think that you were a bit lucky, but there must have been some effort, some hard work behind that luck, and luck may have favored you. But as you told, you have got 99 percentile few times. So how was your preparation like for the VARC?
Okay, so CL has a very good recorded set of lectures from Jijo Srinivasan, which is called VARC 1000. I enrolled for that as soon as it came out on the website because I had been looking at the content the year before, and like there is a set of free lectures that is offered at the beginning of the course for week 1. Even at that point, hearing through those videos, I knew that whenever this course comes around the next year, I have to get it as soon as possible. So there is a particular week of lectures which is given by Jijo, which is called Detecting Option Traps. This comes in week 3 of the course. And when I went through those videos, I realized that many a times the mistake that I made was, instead of looking at the passage critically, I tried to find an option which sounded right to me, which I think I have realized over. So like gut feeling, and like at this point, I have realized that VARC is not about gut feeling, at least when it comes to the options. It is about the fact that you really need to read the passage. Like it doesn't matter if you like the content or not, but you really need to read through it, what it's trying to say. Do not try to push through your opinions on it. So, and then of course, like I said, that detecting the option traps is very important. And Gijo's videos had a lot of like good methods to identify what kind of option traps the question setter can create. And I can say like very like honestly that week 3 alone helped improve my RC scores a lot. VA, I simply tried to solve as many questions as I could and trying to get the feel that, okay, what is a good flow for para jumbles? Para summaries I had been good with even in the previous year, and odd sentence para jumbles, I just had like over the course of my preparation, I realized that you need to look, you do not really need to arrange the remaining 4 sentences so much as you need to eliminate one. If you can do that, like that is the first step. After that, you can try to rearrange the other 4 to confirm your answer. Sometimes I didn't have the time to do that, so of course I didn't do it, but that is the good technique to do it. And in when I was giving cat, I had around 5 minutes to tackle through my para jumbles. So yes, I was actually able to implement this method and it worked.
Mhm. And let us talk about the other sections as well.
Of course.
What was the prep? What was your weak part? I mean, Quant, LRDI, VARC, any section that you think was perhaps weaker, relatively weaker
LRDA,
as.
yes, my LRDA section was weak. I got a 20.41 out of 60, which amounted to a 90 percentile. So
Mhm.
the reason that I scored low in DILR is that I made mistakes with 1 or 2 questions in each set. And the thing is that you should ideally not do that. When you solve a set, you solve it in its entirety so that you can get the return on the time you have invested in that set. Get all of them right, even if you do not get to attempt another set in its entirety. And
Mhm.
I thought that I was pressed for time during slot one's DILR, and I just attempted the 4 question sets like for the most for the largest amount of time. And when I went to a 6 question set, one of them I realized that I should have attempted this. I did not. So a mistake in the strategy, but hey, that's life.
How did you
QA on the
prepare for?
other,
Yeah.
yeah, for LRDI. So again, I took the recorded set of lectures called DILR 1000 from CL itself, and of course the books provided by Arun Sharma for DILR.
Okay. Okay. And coming to Quant, I'm sure you must have scored very high in Quant as well, because if in one section you have scored 90 percentile, that means in Quant you must have scored 99.5 plus
Quant
kind
was
of.
decent. No, it's
Yeah.
99.4 actually. I got a 39.17
Okay.
out of 66.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, Quant like it's not always like Quant has been a section that was consistent. Like it will oscillate from 98.5 percentile to 99.5 percentile in my mocks. So the trick behind is that I focused on arithmetic, algebra, and geometry solely. Like these were my strong sections. I realized that at a very early point in my preparation. Of course, I tried to look through modern maths, a bit of PNC, honestly, but I realized that and numbers, of course, sorry to skip that, but I realized that more often than not, I end up giving a lot of time to those questions, which leads me to not go through the easy questions, not easy, but this questions that I'm actually strong in. No matter how much time it takes me to go through an arithmetic question, I know that compared to other people, I can solve it a bit quicker. So let me focus on that. That is what I did during my actual cat as well.
Sarthak, how many mocks did you take during your preparation?
Okay, so CL I took around 15 mocks and IMS I took around 10 mocks. I kept both the
All right.
test series so that I could have
So
a
total
variety of
25.
problems. Yes,
This
25
is
mocks.
these 25 mocks are for this year and for this particular year. I think
Yes,
you took
solely
the
this
CAT
particular
last
year.
year also. Okay. So
Yes.
both the year combined, you must have taken around how many mocks?
Last year I did not take a lot of mocks. I think last year it was only around 12 to 13, not a lot of mocks.
So, this is very important now since you have said that last year you did not take as many mocks. What changes do you think helped you? One, you told Jijo's video helped you to score more this year. Any
Yes.
other thing that helped you to score more in CAT this year as compared to last year?
So after every mock ended, so CL has a very good analysis page where this particular one where it shows you how many people attempted this question and how many people got it right. So attempts percentage and accuracy percentage. So And one day I simply tried, hey, can I copy this entire set of data to a spreadsheet? I did that. It happened. And from that day onwards, I put up a spreadsheet on my Google Mail that I could write, I could literally put my notes about the mock there itself. So I went through every section's question. So suppose I'll take an RCE passage. So for 4 questions, the first column would have something about the passage itself, that were you able to read this passage in time? And given the fact that it also measures the amount of time you took on that question, it actually helped me understand, yeah, how long did I take. So my main concern was the fact that, am I attempting questions first that are easy to do, which means that did they have high accuracy? Attempts really don't matter. The fact that matters is if even a low amount of people attempted it but they got it right, those are the questions that you really need to target. So putting up this spreadsheet on my, like putting up this spreadsheet and going through it and creating a sort of diary for myself, that helped my preparation a lot.
Great. I mean, this is for everyone who is watching this. If you see any topper telling the success mantra, this will be a common theme analysis. And people can have different ways to analyze the test, but this remains a constant. Taking mocks, and whatsoever number of mocks you take, analyzing them, understanding your strengths and weakness. Sarthak, I know that you cleared IPM, Integrated Program in Management of IIM Indore, and
Yes.
you got the final admission in IIM Indore after class 12th itself. And there was a pleasant, happy situation with you that you had BITS Pilani also in hand, and IIM Indore offer. You chose BITS
Yes.
Pilani at that point in time. Anything that you had in mind when you were choosing BITS Pilani, that you later on you will do management, or simply it happened simply after during your engineering that you wanted to shift to management?
I think, to be very honest, it has always been an aim in life to pursue a management degree at some point or the other in my life. But at that point of time, what BITS offered was a stellar peer group, a very challenging environment, and given the fact that they offer a lot of academic flexibility. So for people who don't know this, BITS gives you the option to have zero attendance. Although don't fall for this trap that you don't attend any classes, but that is simply to tell you that BITS believes in the philosophy that you should do what you want to do. It's not about ki matlab if you should pursue grades only. Of course, it's very good if you keep your grades good, but the fact is the environment is such that people can do whatever the hell they want. They can pursue an idea of their own. They can excel at an academic level, whatever they want to do. They can do independent projects, and the professors help a lot over there. So this was my thinking about going to BITS. Post which I started working for a bit, and eventually I gave CAT because of two reasons. First of all, it's a great mental exercise. Let me tell you this simply. If you give CAT, it refreshes your mind a bit. And this year, when like given the fact that I got a 92 percentile last year, it was like, okay, I really need to give an honest attempt this year so that if for no one else, I am satisfied with my efforts. That's all.
Okay. Uh, see, when you come with good results, say in exam like that, all we talk about is the preparation of last 6 months or 1 year. But I know you.
Yes.
You have been an avid reader, I think, for quite some time now, and by I mean, whether I should call it as a God gift, or whether I should say that during the formative years you must have focused more on the quant part. Your mathematics and English both are naturally good. I mean, maybe because you read a lot, or it has gifted, I don't know. So tell me something more about how did you prepare for these things during school? Any specific effort you made?
So I really got into reading properly when I was in class 3. The first book that I really remember reading is a children's version of Charles Dickens' David Copperfield. Loved the book.
Okay.
It got me hooked to reading prose a lot more. I like, this is a very negative point for me that I'm not very patient with poetry as I am with prose, but like that's a preference. Although I have gone through some very good poems, Pablo Neruda's poems are something that if you get the opportunity to go through, everyone should. They're very thoughtful, they're very poignant at some points, and like just go through them. So At that point of time, I started reading heavily. So my formative years from class 3 to class 12 were filled with a lot of reading of fictional books. You could take any classics, any modern book, like any books, like even Harry Potter, some books by modified Indian mythology, like by Amish Tripathi or Ashwin Sanghi. Some of them, like I did not really go through non-fiction books at this point of this point of time. But when I got into college, I got exposed to books like Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Recently, the book The Psychology of Money has come out, which a lot of people have been touting as the next best thing out of nonfiction. I have a book on quantum marketing by an IIM alumnus who talks about his ideas on the future of marketing. So exciting times. And see, the fact is that reading has been a family habit as well. My mom reads a lot. My late grandfather used to read a lot. My maternal grandmother actually published her a collection of stories in Odia about 10 years ago. So there's a bit of legacy factor to it as well. And simply, I loved reading, and I still do.
Talking about the legacy, your father himself is IIM Kozhikode pass out.
Yes.
I think first batch or second batch of IMK, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, like it was early days. I don't like they didn't even have a proper IMK campus then. Like if you look at the campus today, my father is like, I should have gotten to go there. He got to
All
visit the
right.
campus for his reunion right now. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarthak. So now you have 99.93 percentile in front of you, and I'm sure you will be getting call from IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. I mean, every college should actually ideally call you for the interview. How are you gearing up for the next round?
I'm preparing for PI with CL again, CL's PDP personalized course, and the mentorship there is really great up till now. I'm sure that when the mock interviews come up, they will give me a lot of good feedback. And I've been collaborating with a bit of my peers as well who prepared for CAT and did well this year. Peers from BITS.
Right. So, Sarthak, thank you very much for being part of this interview, and it's really nice talking to you, knowing that you have. I mean, it may look like a 1 year effort, but it is actually cumulative of everything that you have done. So final words for the aspirants, and keep in mind, if you can keep in mind those people who are not exposed to the way you have been exposed to the books and reading habit, and perhaps inclination towards quantitative ability, for someone who has not been exposed to this thing, what will be what success mantra will you like to share?
I would suggest that think about a field that you're interested to learn about, and there will definitely be a book about it. Doesn't matter if it's very well written, does it has a very like basic vocabulary, just pick it up. Start reading. Then apart from that, newspapers are a very good way of building your vocabulary and reading abilities as well. And I would actually suggest that it doesn't matter the language which you read in. If you really like reading Hindi newspapers, start with that. Then try to shift the same to your English newspapers so that you can actually work on the language skills that you need to tackle the cat. Then for quant skills, I would suggest, I don't think there's anything to be scared of when it comes to quant for cat. Think about this fact that there are many people who did not have great scores in math when they gave cat. But given the fact that like with some maturity and some really cool calm preparation, they went through books, they went through, like they developed tricks for themselves. It's not so much the fact that someone else gives you tricks and you remember them. When you go for your prep, you learn the fact that yeah, I can make this calculation faster with a very slight tweak. It happens in your head. So give it some time. Nothing is going to happen without a bit of initial effort, and the initial effort is going to be the toughest phase. And the first thing that I would suggest is, even if you have not started the prep, give a mock. Learn where you are. It will give you an idea of where you should focus your prep on first, and whichever section is the weakest for you, I would suggest you focus your energies there. Then you can go move on to feel like it's not the fact that I will prepare for DILR alone. I will prepare for VARC alone. You're giving a paper for 2 hours and not 40 minutes, which is the fact that you should remember. So start preparing. That's all.
Sarthak, bang on. I mean, let me summarize. his success mantras for the aspirants. First, whatever field you are interested in, pick a book from that field and read. And I will 100% agree with this thing. I mean, rather than focusing or asking people that what book I should read, simply pick up a book from, say, if you are a football lover, pick up a book from that field. Second, most of the people are afraid of maths and they simply run away from it. There is no need to do that. Very important, and a very, very relevant point which Sarthak has said. Now, a normal average student, when they come to us, they ask us for tricks. Now, there are no such thing as tricks. That's a magic. You cannot learn magic by looking at someone performing it. You have to develop your own ways. As Sarthak said, you try to understand the concept and you develop your own tricks. That's the third thing. And the fourth thing is take mock right at the beginning so that you know where you stand and you can work upon your weaknesses. Thank you, Sarthak. Very much, all very relevant points that you have shared with the aspirants. And I wish you all the best. And may you get the dream college. You should get the dream college after doing so well in the exam. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your support as well, sir. And
Right.
bye, everyone.
Bye.